Namaste, good afternoon, everybody. Today we are on the second day of this national level 6 days lecture series. Yesterday, on the first day, we were having so many fascinating and interesting informations with highly experienced scientist of our country, Dr. Sharad Kale sir. Today is the second day. Yesterday we had seen some glimpses about the nanotechnology in our kitchen, how we can study in the detail with the interest and with our own curiosity. We had seen little about the history of virology, and because this pandemic corona is going on, sir has given us highlight on the coronavirus. I again welcome all of you, and today on the second day, we will now listen Dr. Kale sir.
Good afternoon, all of you. It's nice to have a second session and see your enthusiasm. I was quite happy to see the responses which we have received through various means. Yesterday, I was talking to you about the corona pandemic, and our time was over, so I will take up from there. And today I will introduce a new topic to you. Uh, of course, see, microbiology and biotechnology are such a vast, means both are such vast fields that it's very difficult to cover even a what you call is a very small fraction of it in 6 hours, or in 6 lectures. But what I am trying to do, as I told you, the best of that I will try to give you, in the sense that whatever is fascinating, what word Valentina used, the fascinating. There are many fascinating aspects of the uh, both the subjects, not only microbiology and biotechnology. There are a lot of fascinating aspects of chemistry, physics, and for that matter, every subject, even history, geography, have their own um, uh, uh, fascinating aspects, facets. And if you go to say music, if you go to say cricket, you go to hockey, you go to tennis, each person there is a stalwart, like say Roger Frederick, I mean Federer. If you talk of Nadal, talk of Djokovic. In IPL, you talk of so many young upcoming players. In music, you talk of so many musicians. See, all of them have come to a level because they have excelled in their field, and that is what I want you to be, you to how to excel in the field, what you should need. I told you yesterday, we need the smartness, we need inspiration, we need motivation, and of course we need the proper training. Now this proper training is the part which I'm going to concentrate in next 5 lectures. Try to give you the intricacies. When our teacher used to teach us, he used to say that read between the lines. I am going to go a little beyond that. Beyond that, read between the words, read between the letters, read between the punctuation mark, and you will find the interpretations keep on changing. And that is what you have to catch, all that interpretation. And finally, what is the correct interpretation? And that is the intricacy of life. That intricacy will come if your vision is like a hawk. You know, hawk, you can see from almost 2 or 3 miles when it is flying, or a kite when it is flying from such a height. It exactly finds out where its prey is, and within fraction of second, it it flies down in such a speed and picks up that prey without that prey has inkling of what is happening. So we need such kind of the hawk's eye, what I call it. In R&D, in studies, you need a hawk's eye. So coming back to the yesterday where I left, I was telling that pandemic is really dangerous. The second wave has started in Europe and America, and in one day there is an increase of 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs is not a small number for a country, for a even for the world. The total population of world is around 750 crores. So some are 781 crores to be precise. If somebody starts calculating 5 lakhs upon 780 crores into 100, what will be percentage? And that will be something like 0.0001% or 0.002%. Well, somebody will say it's absolutely negligible. Now, statistics can sometimes be the game of fools. That's what the learned people say. You need not depend upon statistics every time. Because if 1 out of 10 people are mad, that means one tenth of a person is mad. Uh, it may be actually right, because most of us have that small madness in us, but that is not a correct interpretation of the data, that 1 out of 10 people are mad, and so that the madness is like that. So statistics is useful, no doubt about it, and actually many of my close colleagues will know that I am quite fond of statistics. I teach statistics, so it's not that I'm making fun of statistics, but there are certain places where statistics is not very important when you are observing the actual. Uh, See, the impact is not here statistical. Now, suppose out of these 5 lakh people, you are the one, and you are in the one in that 5% bracket. I wish none of you should go in that. But just imagine you are the one in that 5% bracket, which goes to the serious or the intensive care unit and go on ventilator. What is going to be the fate? And who tells and who decides that who goes to that and who doesn't? And that's why it's very important. Please don't take this corona uh, lightly. Whenever you are going out, you must go out with a mask, and you must make sure that people who are walking on the road, where you are walking, everybody is using mask. Let there be a quarrel, let there be a fight, but you have to be very firm and tell people that without mask, please don't walk, because the mask is the one which is going to give you 90-95% of protection in most of the cases. Use N95 mask. If you don't have N95 mask, use a what you can call the mask which is multi-layered, stitched at home. Uh, Sometimes people ask questions. I am sure you microbiologists will be able to understand better what I am talking. The mask is the whatever pore size is there, it's quite big than the virus. So how is that mask is going to protect? That's the common question people ask me. See, it's not the question of the size of bacteria, size of virus. Virus is definitely 120 nanometer or 100 nanometer, so it's extremely small, and on its own it can certainly come through the nose. But remember, I mean, it cannot be protected by mask, that I know. But the virus is not going to come alone. Virus is going to be on some carrier, and that carrier is going to be your droplet. The droplet which is coming out of your nose or out of your saliva is going to be bigger. And that droplet is certainly in terms of micro, if you look at the size, or sometimes even in millimeter size. Now, if your mask is 3 layered or multi-layered, then certainly it will protect you from those droplets. And these droplets will never come into your nose, and they will never get established. Because another important factor is viral load. How much of virus is going to enter in your body? If the number of virus particles which are going to enter is below the critical level. Now, this critical level is very important. Now, there is a critical mass in atomic bomb. There is a critical angle when light passes through water and it gets reflected. We call it total internal reflection. A person goes in critical stage. So this critical word has very important meaning in this uh, viral load also. How much is the critical load? And that critical load will be in terms of few thousands of viral particles, but certainly the mask will help you to reduce the number of virus particles which are reaching your nose, and then your immune system can easily take care of those small particles or those less number of particles, and you will never get infected with that. So using is very important. When you are talking to somebody else, people have a tendency to remove the mask and talk because they can't hear properly. In that case, don't talk, because if you are going to get infected, it's better not to talk, and better have the communication through WhatsApp or through messages, rather than avoiding the direct talk, because uh, a small mistake or small error for just for a few seconds can cost you your life. And that is, I mean, this is such a grave situation, especially for coronavirus, because it has that ability to create that fatality if the viral load is very high. So please take care of your mask, wash that mask correctly. Don't, and that's why if you see that the whatever advices are given are wash your hands, because the particles which are coming out of your nose or saliva, we call it droplets, they can be of say 5 millimeter size or 1 millimeter size or half a millimeter size or say 100 micron size. They can lie on your when you are talking, they can get settled on your table, on your mobile, on your door handle, or on your own hand. And when you are touching that with say lift button or door handle again, it is likely that it will get stuck there and somebody else will touch it. And if that hand goes to the nose or eyes or mouth, then there is a likelihood that this virus will enter in your body. So that is why hand washing, using mask. And third important thing which I am going to tell you, please listen to it carefully, that whenever you are going out for say some period of time, even for say 5 minutes or for 1 hour or 2 hours or 4 hours, like that, when you come back home, wash your hands thoroughly, remove your mask and put it in soap water. And third very important thing is take immediately steam for 5 to 10 minutes. When you are taking that steam through steamer, avoid vessel. There are steamers available in the medical shops for 200 rupees, 250 rupees. You can buy that steamer and then use a towel on your body, I mean on your face, so that all the steam will be directed to nose. Now, many times there is a discussion that how the steam is going to help. I am going to tell you how the steam is going to help. The steam will never enter at that 110 degrees Celsius, when it is generated, or 100 degrees Celsius. That steam, by the time it reaches your nose, you are not going to get burnt. You are going to feel very warm, no doubt about it. Sometimes you may feel hot also, and you know that how to where to stop and up to what you can put your face inside. But if your temperature is around say 55, 60 degrees, 65 degrees, of the water vapor which is coming through the steamer, you can tolerate it, I can tell you that. And that reaching and hitting your nasal surface, because when you are breathing, all that will first get lodged in this sinus part of it. So if you can give the steam pressure there, those viruses or particles which are settled there, you can actually stop them. You can inactivate them. And that is why steam taking is very important, especially for a healthy person, as a preventive measure. I don't know how much it will be useful for a patient because I'm not a doctor, but to prevent it, certainly the steam will be useful. And if you feel that okay, you have been longer, have you exposed longer outside, you can do some salt water gargling, also hot water, because this bacteria viral surface outside protein code is very susceptible to salt and is very susceptible to the alkaline pH. That's why they ask you to wash your hands with soap, and the salt water gargling will be, if it is some, if at all some viruses have got lodged into your throat part of it, you can certainly wash them out by hot water gargling. So these are the important steps which you should take. People I see finding immediately they come and go for a bath. I will prefer that if you want to take a bath, I have no objection. You can take 10 times bath, but the bath is not going to be a solution for corona. The prevention of coronavirus entry in your body, but certainly steam can stop it. You can take your bath as a kind of precautionary measure, but follow this, that when you are going out, use mask. When you come home, wash your hands with soap, then take steam. If it is needed, take the salt water gargling, and then go to your various activities. It takes only 10 minutes, but these 10 minutes are going to be the what you call your insurance policy against the coronavirus. Okay, so the uh, mm, right now, if you see, the symptoms are so varied. It's very difficult to tell which is COVID and which is not. They say that fever, it is there in 99% of people. Fever is not very high; it is around 99 to 101. Then there is the more than 50% people feel tiredness. More than 30% people have found that there is a wash. I mean, they have lost the smell sense. Then there is a dry cough in 60% of patient, body ache in about 40%. Now again, these percentages are not very important. Let me tell you that, because these percentages are there based on data which is obtained from various parts of the world, and people are trying to find out if there is a picture where, if there is a kind of roadmap which we can find out how the virus enters, how the virus spreads, what it causes, whether it is causing liver fibrosis, whether it is causing the lung fibrosis, what kind of oxygen problem it is creating. So all this breath, shortness of breath and all, many things are unknown. Many things are not known to the medical world, because this is a new virus and it will take time. So there will be different types of news items based on their own experiences. So I don't disbelieve any of them, but I don't believe them fully also, because basically we are still in learning phase as far as corona is concerned. And you also should keep that in mind. Never get panic. Now there is another WhatsApp message. There are a lot of nonsense WhatsApp message moving that you drink a lot of tea, drink. I mean. This virus is 500 nanometers. Somebody told me the virus is 500 nanometer or 500 millimeter. It's almost like 5 centimeters. Now that kind of WhatsApp messages, and this is where I think what I need help from all of you, all the younger generation, is you use your brain, use your knowledge, and try to not to spread such nonsense messages. Stop them in your community. Tell them that one single sentence from a learned person, that no, this is not true, will make a lot of difference to the average community, because average community tendency is to get panic. And you have seen that how that panic had spread. People had walked the something 500 kilometers, 600 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers back to their places, when it could have been avoided. I don't think there is any blame to anyone, but basically it is our tendency, and that's because our information system is not very good. We very easily tend to believe into the WhatsApp and the nonsense messages, and that's where I will like this opportunity to tell you that please don't believe in such WhatsApp messages. The diagnostic test for RT-PCR, I am sure microbiologists I need not teach what is RT-PCR. Basically, it's a RNA virus. So this RNA virus has to convert it into cDNA, and then the test continues. So takes about 5 to 6 hours, and that is 90%. I mean, more than 90%, or even I can put it as 95%. There are very less chances of being false positive or false negative. But the rapid antigen test, which is going on, it is good for negativity, but it is not good for positivity. The rapid antigen test, it only tells you about 60 to 80% authentic that it is. It could be this positive, but you will have to do RT-PCR if that happens to be positive. So I expect that microbiologists should understand these tests. They should be able to tell people what these tests are. They should be able to explain them in layman's term, because if you can do that, I think it will be a good contribution to the society that yes, here are people who have learned in college at see, all of us are, when we are learning at in colleges, in universities, we are partly consuming public money. That responsibility is also ours. Many times student ask me, sir हमारी इसमें क्या जिम्मेदारी है, हम इसमें क्यों पढ़े? अरे आपका, at some places, of course, nowadays the fee structure is changed. In our time it was surely the expense, the education was subsidized. And forget about subsidize and forget about money. As I told you yesterday, everything cannot be told in terms of money, or it cannot be counted in terms of money. It's some kind of responsibility to the society. When you are learning something which is unique, as for example, microbiology subject is unique, biotechnology subject is unique. So when you are learning something unique, and then you are telling that yes, based on my knowledge, this is what is the reality, and this is how you can stop the you can at least prevent the COVID. These are the proper ways of doing the testing. I think it will help all of us in the uh, in our future concept. Okay, so I hope I made things clear about the corona, about your duties. Again, just one reminder that I will pass on three or four. Actually, I call it as four clauses. The first clause is use mask. Never go out without mask. With a proper mask, a 3 or 4 layered mask or N95 mask, which are supposed to be without ventilators. The second thing is wash your hands and take care of your mask when you come back. Third is that take steam and take the hot water gargling if it is needed, but taking steam is a must. And then fourth is that help people in understanding what is corona and how it can be prevented. I think the if you do this daily with some people, I am sure that we all, the fraternity of microbiology, our society will be proud of, because then they will know that yes, these people are not only learning for themselves, they are learning for us also, and they are trying and coming and telling us that how to take care of this. So with that, that was the thing which I had planned for yesterday, but since the time got over, it overshot. Today, I am going to talk about a very close, I mean, a subject which is very close to all of us. It's a kind of environment, which is, of course, in environment there are many aspects, and I am going to. But first, all the students, I will like to show one model. This model is right in front of my table. This is a model. Now, this model, if you see my one video, those who have not seen, they can see one video in YouTube. This is on Satyamev Jayate. It was in 2014 when Amir Khan was doing the episode on waste material in our country and the problems involved in waste management. He had taken my interview for 5 to 6 minutes, which is there on YouTube. There I have shown one model. Now this model is another copy of that, and what I expect again from all of you is make one model for yourself. Now this model is sealed. You can see this. There is a complete seal of this, and this during Corona time, in the beginning of Corona, March, I have sealed this. I have not opened it. That is from March to now. It is September. Sorry, November. So it is almost 6 or 8 months. That model I have not opened for 19 years. So this comparatively, this is a young model. In this, there is a money plant, and you can see that money plant is very green, and you can make it see that you can easily make out that it is alive. It is not dead. Now, I have not watered it since 1st of March. Okay, or even before that, I don't exactly remember. Somewhere I have written the date, but from 1st of March, you can consider, because let us say that the Gudi Padwa was around 8th of March. So 1st of March, I must have stopped watering it, and then I have sealed it. So last almost 7 months, I have not watered it. Only it is in the east side of our house where morning sunlight shines in our that room where I kept this model. So it gets sunlight. So in this, you can see the model without water for almost 7 months. Now you just in your home, if you in a pot keep a small plant and don't water it for a few days, the plant will dry. Whereas this plant is very alive. You can even see, I will try to take it as close as possible. You can see some of the water droplets here. So what is happening is, in this, whatever water I had added when I sealed this, sorry, when I sealed this model, there was some amount of water. It was around, let us say, 150 to 200 ml of water. And then this 250 ml water, because this system is sealed, the plants will take water from this soil and they will transpire that water. But because it is sealed from the top, the water will fall back into the system. Yeah, this side it is very clear. You can see the water drops here. I don't know how many of you will be able to see this, but I will try to take it as much as possible. So these are the water drops. Okay, I hope you are able to make out that these are the water drops. So this water will fall back. So it rains every day in morning, every day in my this bottle. So the water is recycled. Now, the next question will be, how about CO2 and O2? Now, this plant does photosynthesis. During the photosynthesis part, it actually generates oxygen. You know the photosynthetic reaction. The whole world runs on two basic reactions of life. One is immobilization and the other is mineralization. Now, immobilization is the fixation of carbon dioxide. You call it as sequestering. CO2, 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O in presence of that N lambda. N lambda is the sunlight which falls on it. So in taking that energy and combining 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O through the various, the photosynthesis cycle, there is a light cycle, light cycle and the dark cycle. So in that, the finally what is produced is C6H12O6, that is glucose, plus 6 molecules of oxygen plus 6 molecules of H2O. Now there was a question. This oxygen comes from, whether it comes from water or it comes from carbon dioxide. And then there was the radioactive, not radioactive, the O18 experiment was done, which is a stable isotope, and they found that this oxygen is generated by splitting of water. So very much from water, not from carbon dioxide, this oxygen is generated, and this oxygen is released back into this system. So oxygen level, whatever it was there in the beginning, is going to be the same at a given time, at a given point of time. At a given point of time, it may be less, but at a overall, if you see in the system, will always maintain the oxygen balance, and system will also maintain carbon dioxide balance. Because we say that carbon dioxide is a bad gas. No, without carbon dioxide, we would not have survived. So this carbon dioxide is during the 24 hours the plant is respiring, and the other reaction, which is I called as mineralization, the glucose is broken down through the process of glycolysis and Krebs cycle. If you remember your biochemistry very well, that the 38 ATP energy is generated, and the final product is 6CO2 plus 6H2O. Again, they are liberated. So this is a cycle, the photosynthetic cycle and respiration cycle, which are going in this system very well. So only one restriction is going to be there on this model, and that restriction is because now you can see that the plant height has reached up to the top. Now there is no further growth. There will be an equilibrium one day. The number of leaves will be whatever number of leaves are falling down and getting degraded, because I have kept soil there, and soil has microorganisms. So these microorganisms will degrade the leaves which are falling down, and they will eat away that leaf and release all the elements which are there in the system back into the soil. So the overall weight of the system is going to remain constant. There is not going to be a change of even nanogram, because the there is something called law of conservation of matter. You must have learned it. इसको पदार्थ के अविनाशित्व का नियम कहते हैं, जिसमें कहते हैं कि पदार्थ नया से पैदा नहीं होता या उसका कोई विनाश भी नहीं होता, वो सिर्फ एक फॉर्म से अनदर दूसरे फॉर्म में चला जाता है. So you will find that yes, that law of conservation of matter is very clearly maintained in this small model. Now, if you compare my model with Earth, you will find that there is only difference of scale. The Earth is also sealed from the top. Earth, Earth is also sealed from the top, and the top no, Earth is sealed from all the sides. There is nothing. Have you ever seen any satellite bringing oxygen? That oxygen is less here on the Earth, so let us send some oxygen. Has God decided to send some oxygen? No, nothing comes from outside. Everything is within the system, and that is what I will like you to draw your attention, that our Earth is nothing but this is a small Earth. Yeah, this is the Earth. This is the Earth, and this is the model. Now, if you look at both together, you will find that
सर आप म्यूट हो गए हो. सर सर आपका म्यूट में चला गया है.
okay. Sorry, it was not for a long time, no? It wasn't for a long time. I hope so.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So the system conserves, and the conservation comes in picture only when living beings are there. So living beings are important. And just imagine, we say that, of course, we don't know yet.
Sir, sir.
Yeah.
सर जहाँ से आपने ग्लोब दिखाया था ना वहाँ से म्यूट हो गया था, तो वो थोड़ा दोबारा करना।
Okay. Okay.
थैंक
So
यू सर।
what I'm trying to tell you is that this globe is something which is uh, uh, very close to my system. You can call this as mini Earth, and this is the big Earth. There is of course difference of size. On this Earth, you have got 780 crores of people, and I don't know how many crores of plants, how many crores of animals, how many crores and crores of microorganisms. We are not sure, but yes, they are there and they are finite. Let me tell you that sometimes people ask me what is the importance of mathematics in biology. There is plenty of importance. Although we are going to have n number of microorganisms, there is always a count possible, and that is called as the finite count. So what is Earth is a finite thing, and this finite thing is because the finite resources, they are not infinite, and that is the word I want to introduce to all of you, that our resources are not infinite, they are finite. And so that's why the conservation of resources is very important, and that is what I am going to come to finally into the topic. So only just two things on this comparison of the system, and then we can go back to the lecture. That in this small Earth, there is only money plant. There are some few millions of bacteria and fungi which are present in the soil, and maybe some insects which are going to remain in that form, because these insects will never outnumber because of the equilibrium of the system will be reaching, and the number of leaves on this plant also will be restricted, but they will never die. This system is never going to get dried up or anything unless it breaks, because it is made up of glass. So I request all of you to make one such system in your college and in your own house, to make sure. Now, why I made this system, I'm trying to do so much of comparison, spending some of your time in just explaining what these two systems are. My simple question in this system is, the leaf which is falling down, we call in the human dictionary as kachra, whereas in this dictionary of Earth, Mother Earth, Vasundhara, when the leaf falls, the new leaf comes. When the leaf falls, new leaf comes. So that is a recycle. Utpatti, Vruddhi, and Lay. Utpatti is the generation. Vruddhi is growth. Lay is the destruction. And through destruction, again there is Utpatti. So this is a cycle. And this is the cycle Lord Krishna has explained in his Bhagavad Gita. Vansansi Jirnani, he says. Your body, your soul throws your body once it is old, and then, like changing the clothes, it changes the body. Similarly, we are not entitled to call anything in this world as waste, and that is the point I want to make it. Now, in this entire model, so again, my request to you, homework for you today is make such model. The bottle should be of glass. The lid should be preferably of glass, and the sealing, please don't do the sealing in first 2 months. Let the plant get established. It can be any ornamental plant which is perennial. You can keep it. You can keep mogra. You can keep rose. You can keep money plant. A money plant looks good. You can see that it looks good here. So because larger leaves and it's quite attractive. So put such a plant in that, and then allow it to grow by watering every day. You are not going to seal it. After 2 months, when the plant will get established correctly, then you can seal it and then leave it, not in very hot sun, because if it is very hot sun, scorching effect may happen and the plant may burn. So just in morning sunlight or evening sunlight, you can keep it for 1 or 2 hours, so that photosynthesis continues, and then you can create a mini earth like Vishwamitra did. Uh, mm, uh, and this will be a permanent model in your house or in your college. You will disappear from this earth, but the model will not. And that is the importance of the model. I have been requesting to all my listeners all the time that they should make such models. There are some schools in Goa, there are some schools in Konkan area where they have made such model and they have made it successful. I wish that all of you make the model. And this model is very important to make you understand that there is nothing waste and everything has to be recycled. About the importance of recycling, very simple thing which you use in microbiology, without that you cannot proceed, and that is the water. You cannot proceed in your life if you don't drink water. Of course, like oxygen is required every second, water may not be required every second to be taken inside, but the role of water is there for 24 hours. The reactions which are going in your cells, if there is no water, they will stop. And even one reaction stops, the entire cycle will stop and the death will follow. So water is, although you are not taking for 24 hours, water is active for 24 hours in your body. And that is why water is called Jivan. In many languages, I have checked that water is called Jivan. And that is the beauty of it, that without water, you cannot really survive. So one day I had a dialogue with water. Uh, I told you yesterday that after retirement, I try to teach people through some poems. So today I'm going to make all these 6 days. I'm going to make you listen to one of my poems in Hindi. This poem is like this. Once I was talking to a water bottle. Now they call that scientists are little mad. Yes, I am also a mad scientist. So I talk to inanimate objects. For me, they are not inanimate. Like a child. For a child, nothing is inanimate. You look at he looks at the toy and he smiles or she smiles. He looks at his mother or she looks at his mother and she smiles. So for him, there is really no difference between animate and inanimate. He has everything is he is curious about it. Similarly, a scientist or a science student should always be curious about things. And once I was thinking about that water, and I thought that I should have a dialogue with water, so I started asking question, "Pani re pani, tera हाल कैसा?" And then the jawab jo mila mujhe, maybe that jawab I myself have written, there is no doubt about it. Pani has not talked to me, but why that jawab has come? Because there is some kind of thought in the environment around me, and that thought has got into my brain, and I thought that this thought is very important, so it should be told to people, and that's how the conversation began. So पानी रे पानी तेरा हाल कैसा? पानी ने जवाब दिया, जनाजा उठने वाला है समझो वैसा. So I was surprised. I said, Pani ka janaja, funeral of water. How it is possible if funeral of water takes place? Where we will be? And there is enough water on this earth. So why the water is thinking that it's going for the final rites of its own when there is plenty of water around? So curiously, I looked at water, and then water started uh, speaking further. उसने कहा, रसोई मुझसे पकाते हो, जीवन मुझे कहते हो, पूजा मुझसे करवाते हो, नदी को माता कहते हो, तीर्थ मंदिर में पीते हो, कभी ख्याल आया मन में, मेरे लिए कुछ करते हो. भगवान के लिए हम प्रसाद चढ़ाते हैं. क्यों चढ़ाते हैं? मुझे कुछ चाहिए. भगवान को देने के लिए नहीं है, वो मुझे कुछ चाहिए भगवान से. All this I selfishness comes in picture. So Pani is asking us, मेरे लिए कुछ करते हो? फिर उसने कहा आगे, खाना मुझसे परोसते हो, रसोई मुझसे पकाते हो, सुबह से शाम, शाम से सुबह 3 लीटर पिए जाते हो, कभी ख्याल आया मन में, अगले पीढ़ी के लिए कुछ करते हो? बात तो उसकी बिल्कुल सही है. इतना गंदा करते हो, रोग कीटाणुओं को बढ़ावा देते हो, जिंदगी को धोखा देते हो, नदी को गटर बनाते हो, और मुझसे मेरा हाल पूछ रहे हो. बहुत बड़ी बात है. मेहमानों का स्वागत मुझसे, भगवान को अभिषेक मुझसे, मरीजों की दवा मुझसे, हर घर में जीवन मुझसे, फिर भी बेहाल कर दिया मुझे, हाल पूछने की जरूरत करते हो। पानी रे पानी तेरा हाल कैसा। पानी आगे कहता है, युगों से रहा हूं मैं धरती पर, एंड दैट इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू इन दिस। युगों से रहा हूं मैं धरती पर, बारिश झरना नदी सागर से, फिर बारिश सूरज की धूप से, चक्र से मैं गुजरता हूं, लेकिन वक्त के मुसाफिर मानव मित्र मेरे, अच्छी मित्रता निभा रहे हो, मेरा हाल पूछ रहे हो। अभी भी समय शायद बाकी है, कुछ तो करो मित्र कुछ तो करो। अभी भी समय शायद बाकी है, जितना पिया है आज तक आधा तो शुद्ध करो मित्र। पृथ्वी माता बड़ी दयालु है, पृथ्वी माता बड़ी दयालु है, लेकिन वो भी अब थक गई है, उसकी सहायता करो। वो भी अब थक गई है, उसकी सहायता करो, नहीं तो उसके साथ साथ तुम्हारा भी जनाजा उठने वाला है, नहीं तो उसके साथ साथ पूरे मानव वंश का जनाजा उठने वाला है। जस्ट इमेजिन, every person, just now I told in my poem, which is a truth, जिसे scientific truth कहते हैं, approximately 3 liters water we drink. A total water consumption of a person is around 150 liters. That is what the building construction people take into consideration. If you take twice bath, if you are using water in flush, if you are washing vessels, if you are washing clothes, around 150-liter water per person is consumed. Now, 150 liters in 1 month, in 1 day, so 30 days, it will be something like 4,500 liters of water. And just think of 12 months. So, quantity of water which we are using. And then, what you are doing for recycling. As a microbiology student, I will like to throw some questions, throw some projects to you, and make sure that some of you take up this project, some of you implement these projects in your buildings, in your own houses, in your farms, in your industries, and contribute, because I am sure none of you have got a ability to solve the problem for the Mother Earth. Certainly not. But a problem solved at this place, 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 that is going to solve the problem. And that is what my personal appeal to all of you. Think about it, that when you go to a toilet, I think maybe for number two, once or twice, for number one, 3, 4 times, every time you open a flush, the 15 to 20 liter or 10 to 15 liter water just uh, gushes through the toilet to clean the toilet for you. Now, 4 times if you are doing that, so 40 to 60 liters of water, which is drinking quality water, is getting wasted into the flushes just to clean the dirt which is created by drinking 3 liters of water. Maybe my words are little bitter, little harsh, but that is the reality. And so, what we should do, we must, and this is what my dear friends is biotechnology. This is what is the inspiring aspect of microbiology. We have the knowledge. What is simple solution is that kitchen water and bathroom water, if you can collect and pass it through some oxidation process, need not be ozonization, just oxidation process, and use it for your garden, or use it in your flushes, by deodorizing it. And there are enough techniques available for deodorization. 60 liter of water, if you are saving from your daily, taking that kitchen water and bathroom water and using it in flush, you can reduce your requirement of water by half. And if that is what I asked the question in the poem, that adha to shudh karo mitra, and you will be able to do it. So I'm not just a poet, we are throwing ideas. I'm trying to give you the answers also. That use that water and use it, oxidize it, reduce that BOD to less than 100, which is quite possible. You have to develop a system. Finally, many people ask that, sir, इसको तो खर्चा आएगा, बिना खर्चे का कुछ नहीं आएगा. आपको जो भगवान दे रहा है फ्री में, उसकी ये जीएसटी आप भरना है. आपको ये जीएसटी अगर आप नहीं भरेंगे, तो आपको कल को ये जो पानी का फ्यूनरल की बात मैंने की है, वो सच निकलेगी. एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी अंडरस्टैंड दिस and then learn how to treat the wastewater. Unfortunately, you will agree with me, country are really working well. The dumping yards are overflowing. That is because we people are insensitive. Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So with in lot of inner voice, I'm trying to talk to you that it is our duty. In our philosophy, we say Aham Brahmasmi, I am the world. What does it mean? I am the world. Suppose you are not listening to me now. Let us say a few hundred students are listening to me. At the same time, there are thousands of students who are not listening to me. So they will not know what I am talking and what you are listening. Unless you are there in the event, you are not able to grasp the event. So similarly, in the world, if you are removed from the world, then the world is zero, or not even zero, because zero at least has some meaning. There were two biscuits. I ate both the biscuit. Now there is no biscuit here, so that zero has some value. But in this case, if you are not there in this world, you are removed from this. ये जो रंगमंच है उससे आपको हटा दिया जाए तो कुछ बचता नहीं है आपके लिए. So if you are going to be so important to understand what is the world, if you are going to enjoy the world, then isn't it your duty to make sure that you also participate in the operation of the world, in the functioning of the world, in maintaining the resource balance in this world? And that is where my sincere request to all of you is, don't restrict your practicals to the wastewater in your laboratory and show in your final exam that we have reduced the BOD to 10 or 15 and then get 20 out of 20 and then be happy about it. Go home and then don't bother at all about the water wastage. This is not education. This is cheating through the Almighty what we are doing. So let us stop all this. Let us be honest. And that is what I mean by honest. Honest is not necessarily saying only the truth, but is the understanding the truth and participating to maintain that truth. And that is why it is called universal truth. So maintaining that, this is very important. You know that in August 2, 2014, in Ohio, there is a city called Toledo, and there was a very big notice from municipality that do not drink water. And this do not drink water for 5 lakh people suddenly, that tap water should not be used for brushing your teeth, for drinking, and for making the formula milk for your infants. And the cause was increased levels of the microcystins. Microcystin is a actual toxin produced by one microalgae, that is a cyanobacteria, that is microcystis. And this microcystin is a very dangerous toxin in water. This can cause cancer. It can cause the temporary liver failure. It can cause permanent liver failure. And in Brazil, the people, 100 people were on dialysis, and unfortunately, the water which was supplied to them was containing this microcystin, and 50 of them died almost within 24 hours, and remaining 50 were ill for a long time. So the microcystin, this is algal bloom, and why I refer to this point or this news item is, if we decide to give such news item in India, there will be plenty of such news items. Many of our cities are deprived of really good water, although there are some cities like Mumbai, for example. The water which is being supplied to Mumbai through Vaitarna is one of the best waters in the world. In fact, there was some ranking made by some responsible company. I don't remember exactly the date of or the year of that, but it was about 4 or 5 years ago. And the Mumbai Vaitarna water at the source was found to be as good as that of Thames and of Tokyo. So, which were supposed to be the extremely good waters. So basically, municipalities, if they have got a good supply, like say Vaitarna or Pune, we have got a Khadak Wasla. I don't know how many of, but many of Rajasthan, I mean Gujarat, so these desert areas, you will have the groundwater very salty. So chances of getting good water, of course, Narmada has made a lot of difference there. So getting sweet and good water is also very important, and for that, the conservation of water is very important. And that's why this water quality. Now, as a microbiologist, each lab, I expect that in the colleges they must understand what are the ISO qualities, what are ISO 10500 drinking water qualities, how they are done, what are various criteria which are used for that, what is the importance of that. I'm going to discuss few of them. I'm not going to talk in air. I will take two or three qualities which are very important, because again our time is going to be restricted. So I will discuss those, and what I will expect is the say it's so fascinating. If you are going to bring your water sample from your house and do the analysis with full understanding what you are doing, then you will be very responsible person while going the results, because you know that this water is going to be consumed by your parents, by your if the teachers are there, by your spouse, by your children, and you are going to be responsible for telling them what there is in and what there is not in that water. So you will be more accurate, you will be more attentive, you will be more truthful, you will be more honest. And if any measures are to be taken, why this is needed in our country? Because the many of the cities are old, many of the constructions are done in the old cities, where the drainage lines and the water lines are quite close, and they are likely to be intermixing. In the big societies which are coming up in upcoming cities like Rajkot, there will be up these terrace tanks. Who will really clean those terrace tanks? Are they cleaned properly? Are they cleaned from inside? Is enough precaution taken to add potassium permanganate? And for that, water testing. So I will prefer that, okay, this Mahila Microbiology College where Valentina is working, or there will be so many microbiology students listening to me, that they will offer the services of doing it. It will be a kind of learning practical for them, as well as it will serve the society. So it should be made as a routine syllabus, that if it is there, I am happy about it. But I find that in most of the cases, this type of syllabus which is serving the society is not there. So try to understand that the various facts about water. Water covers about 71% of the Earth's surface. Columbus, he was trying to locate India, and he was traveling through the ship, and There were months together he was on the ship, and then there was water scarcity, and then he had to say, water, water everywhere, but not a single drop to drink because the salty water. How much of ocean is water is there? It's all contaminated. I call it contaminated because you can't drink it, but it's a natural water, natural salty water, and the average salt concentration in any given sea at any given time is around 4%. Maximum salt percentage is in your Dead Sea, where no organism can survive because the percentage of salt has gone to now 35-36%, and the water is somehow getting lost there, and that's why the concentration effect is happening. So forget about that Dead Sea. All others are not Dead Sea. So average salinity in these is 4%, and mostly it is sodium chloride mixed with magnesium chloride. 97% of the total earth water is in the seas, and only 3% water is available for drinking. But let me tell you that this 3% is also not there available for drinking, because 2.5% of that is actually locked in the ice caps in the Arctic and Antarctic. A huge amount of sweet water is locked into these ice caps. So somebody may say that the global warming is very useful because it will make the water available for what? For polluting. I will never expect that type of availability of water. Let it be kept there. There is definite reason why Almighty has locked it. Maybe in future, after say thousands or 2,000 years, that water may be needed. We don't know. But let us not consume that water today. Let us not even eye for that water today. Okay, so only 0.5% of the fresh water which is there is actually available on the earth for our purpose. Uh, the same thing is like earth, and that's why I say our Pancha Mahabhuta is like our body, that 71% of the earth is water. In our body it is about 75%. So our body is made up of Pancha Mahabhuta, and the maximum percentage of water in any particular organ, you will be surprised to know that it is eye. Eye has 95% of water, and that's why you shed more tears probably when it is a sad occasion, or when it is a very happy occasion. Also, you shed tears because there is plenty of water there to shed in the form of tears. Of course, take it lightly. About ISO 10,500 units, when drinking water specification, let us understand them. That a minimum, see, the basic thing is color. The color of a water should be 5 Hazen units. Now, that is, Hazen unit is a color scale. A color scale has been formulated, and the scale is something like 0 to 500. Now, crystal clear water, if you go to Mansarovar, probably you will get 0 Hazen unit. But in most of the cases, the Hazen unit will be something like 1 to 5. So, water, if it is transparent enough to see the bottom, of course, nowhere in India I find any river which is having such a mm, I mean, transparent bottom can be seen. But many of the Western countries, they have maintained their rivers. Of course, they have learnt a lot. In 18th and 19th century, their rivers also were very polluted. Now the 20th century, now they have really learnt lesson, and many of these rivers are clearly sharply transparent. Let us also make those rivers sharply transparent in our country. That should be our aim. So the color of your water which you are drinking should be a 5 Hazen unit, and I will expect that the colleges will make students aware how to measure these Hazen units so that they learn that. There are many things which probably you are not aware in this, although you are aware of the parameters. The odor should be agreeable. Of course, very difficult to measure odor in terms of scale, and this is a chance for you for further research. Many of the young generation people who are sitting in front of me, develop a odor scale. Nobody has done that in the world. The taste should be agreeable. The the pH should be 6.5 to 8.5. Now, this is another chemistry and biology is a rather tough solution, rather tough situation because many students don't like chemistry. The pH, the moment you say pH and buffer, they get confused. What exactly pH and buffer is? Because they have learned only in 12th standard that the pH is negative log of H ions. Now, those who are sitting students, especially, I will ask one question that generally, can anyone give answer? Valentina, can any of you one can give answer? If I give you 10 to the power of minus 1 molar solution of HCl, what will be its pH? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody write also on this chat and then that should be okay. Is it possible? What will be the pH of 10 to the power of minus 1 molar HCl? Anyone? Most of the time, people, when student I have seen, they put it as the minus 1 means H ion concentration as 10 to the power of minus 1 molar, and they put it negative log of 10 to the power of minus 1 and get the answer 1. But when I ask them in that case, what will be the pH of 10 to the power of minus 8 molar HCl, they give the answer 8. Now, how a acid can turn into alkali? Because your basic understanding of pH is wrong, that it is not negative log of H ion, it is negative log of H ion concentration. And H ion concentration doesn't come only from acid, it also comes from water. But water, it is around 10 to the power of minus 7 when you are talking of 10 to the power of minus 1. And that 10 to the power of minus 7 is actually negligible when you are talking of zero point 0.1. And that's why you neglect it and tell approximate pH as 1. But when you are going to that level of 10 to the power of minus 8 molar HCl, then the 10 to the power of minus 7 becomes important, and both you have to add. And then you go for log, then you will find that the pH of that solution becomes 6.97 or 6.98. आप सब करके देखिए एक बार 10 to the power of minus 8 molar HCl का pH कितना है, and 10 to the power of minus 8 molar alkali का कितना आता है, pH and pOH, and you will find that then that will probably clear the concepts. This concept is very important in water because when you are taking pH, how your pH meter is functioning. Is your pH meter, the electrode is wiped thoroughly? Is it dipped in standard distilled water first, and if then it is dipped in a standard buffer, whether the standard buffer is made freshly or it is made it's very old and then it is itself has developed some fungal growth, so it has become alkaline, so it is not really showing the correct thing. All this is very important, your instrumentation, and this will come one lecture I am going to spend on the good laboratory practices, because I thought that is the most important thing for the students who are going for a PhD, who are doing aspiring for jobs in industries. The good laboratory practices are very important. They are even important in your kitchen while you are handling the kitchen utensils while you are cooking. Good kitchen practices and good laboratory practices, there is not much difference. I'm going to tell you that how it is important. Anyway, coming back to this, your pH of water which you are drinking should be around 6.5 to 8.5. The TDS, the total dissolved salt, should be 500. Now, this is where one caution I want to tell about the water is that when people are drinking RO water, there is a fashion of having a RO unit in your house. If there is a municipal supply of water, RO using is absolute foolishness, because by doing RO, you are removing all the salts from that water and you are causing harm to your body. And if at all you are eating good amount of salt in your lunch and dinner, maybe your body is not harmed, but it is absolutely wastage of RO, because you know that when you are putting an RO machine, right now there are several RO companies, but one third of or one fourth of one half of water is actually going waste into the sink. We are watching that every day, that RO is working and the water is flowing out, but we never even think twice that array so much of water is wasted. So RO is not a solution for India, especially in the cities where good municipal supply of water is there. If at all you want to have a candle filter in your house, or even an ordinary solution, I will give you the drumsticks, moringa. मराठी we call it शेवगा. I am sure what I am talking. वो सांबार में हम डालते हैं, बड़े बड़े लॉन्ग उसका सेंग होता है. So that शेवगा or moringa, if you take out those seeds, let it mature and take out the seeds and dry them in sun, and then make a powder of it and attach that cover that, take that powder in handkerchief attached to your tap, you will get virus free water, because that shevga or the drumstick seeds, they have got a certain protein which has got a very good filtration ability. It filters the smallest of small particles, and then it will give you pure water to drink. And once the filter is made, it can survive for about a month. After 1 month, you can change this filter. You know, the entire many of the African countries are using this system of water filtration. They have learnt it from India, but unfortunately in India nobody knows this system. So if you are going to for a fancy water filters, make sure that you understand the water filter, change UV light when it is required, change the candle when it is required. After 3 to 5 years, the candles become bad. So you have to replace those candles. You have to wash that candle every 1 week, every 2 weeks. In fact, if you buy these candle filters, the manufacturer will provide a scrubber also to wash it after every 2 weeks. But the scrubber is lost, and nobody remembers to wash the candle, and there is a fungal growth on the, because of the organic substances which are present in water. They get deposited on the candle, and on this candle there will be growth of bacteria. Biofilms will start growing, and these biofilms will produce their own excretions, their own toxic materials, which will get filtered into water. And what you will be drinking after some weeks or some months after the candle filter has come in your house is actually the toxin. So don't make such mistakes, grave mistakes. Especially microbiology students and biotechnology students should be more aware that yes, they can take an active role in the house, and they take the responsibility of using the water filter. Another very important aspect I'm going to point out to you is the air conditioners in your house. If you are looking at the air conditioner and the, especially in the coastal region, I am sure the where relative humidity is far more, like Bhavnagar, Porbandar, in the Bhuj in Gujarat, they have got a similar humid atmosphere like Mumbai, Ratnagiri, Panji, Vishakhapatnam, Chennai, Trivandrum. We have got a huge coastline, or almost like 4,000 kilometers of coastline, and many of the cities are around its coastline. And in these cities, the relative humidity is very high, and they need to have the air conditioners. Like in Chennai or in Panji, I have seen almost 10 to 11 months people using air conditioners, because life becomes very difficult in that humid and hot weather. In Tamil Nadu, they say they have only three seasons. One is hot, the other is hotter, and third is hottest. Similarly, in Mumbai, we rarely get any winter, and most of the time, 10 to 11 months, there are air conditioners working. And these air conditioners, whatever water, now think again, your biology, your chemist, think like a chemist, or think like a biochemist. There is plenty of humidity in the environment, and what air conditioner does, it actually sucks the heat, entropy from your room and throws it out. What is the definition is 12,000 BTU, the British thermal units of heat is taken output from your room by 1 ton of air conditioner and is thrown out. Now, while throwing this out, heat, it's actually some of the moisture is also collected and it is thrown out. So when the air conditioner outside, these tubes are there, they will be dropping, the water will be dropping from that drop by drop. And there will be even quarrels in the societies that your air conditioner water is falling on my head. So please make some arrangement, otherwise I will have to come physically and stop it. Such quarrels I have seen in the buildings, but actually you are not understanding that you are wasting probably months or over quality water. In your relative humidity is nothing but water, and this is a pure water, and this water will get condensed. No polluted matter will get condensed like with water. So it will be only H2O which will be getting condensed in your air conditioner, and that water which is falling outside, just collect it in your good container, that tube which is there. See, some of the when I discussed this problem with, discussed this solution with some microbiologists, they told me, sir, usme a particular toxic bacteria is there which can grow. Well, it will definitely grow. I am sure about it. But if you don't allow that water to, why that bacteria or algae will grow? Because you never bother about that slope of that particular tube. The slope will always be a little bit hanging, and some water will always remain in that tube. And if that water remains in that tube, there will be microbial growth or algal growth there, because it is going to be humid there. But if you make that tube very straight, so that there is nothing, no what stagnant water will happen there, and all water which is being condensed, and this is actually instantaneous. The water from relative humidity is immediately condensed, and within 5 minutes, when you switch on the AC, the water will start dropping. Out of 2 tons of air conditioner or 1.5 ton of air conditioner, if it is running for 8 hours, especially in humid area, you can collect something like 8 to 10 liters of water. There are central air conditioner systems in Mumbai where I have showed them that the 3,000 liters, the 800 tons a central air conditioner system is there in Prabhadevi in CCL building. And then we measured that water, and it is found to be 3,000 liters. It's a huge amount of water. And there are several such centralized air conditioner systems, especially in the information technology, because now all your colleges have got computers and they need air conditioner. And I can tell you that all your distillation apparatus can be stopped completely. You will get pure distilled water if you collect this water. And this is a challenge to all the colleges, especially in the coastal areas, that I want a letter from all of you or an email from you in next 1 month or 2 months. सर हम अभी एयर कंडीशनर का पानी जमा कर रहे हैं और हमारे कॉलेज में एयर कंडीशन distillation water, distillation apparatus we are stopping. In Marathi we call it तुझा आहे तुझपाशी परी तू जागा चुकलाशी. What it means is everything is with you, but you don't know that these things are with you. So this water which is falling from outside of your air conditioner, you can use it for battery. You can use it for your car battery. You can use it as a distilled water in your lab. You can use it even for drinking purpose by adding a small amount of mineral into that, because it is going to be absolutely pure water, as ISO 10,500 tells you that these are the various parameters. Even better parameters are provided to you by AC water. Now, there are instruments coming in Israel and in other countries where they want to get atmospheric water condensed and provide as a water source. Now, here is an example. You have an instrument already. You have the instrument AC in your house, which is converting that atmospheric water. Why do you need an additional instrument? This instrument is serving you, providing you cooling. At the same time, it is providing you some amount of water. If you put it on Amazon, you will be amazed on Amazon to see that the distilled water is sold at something like 800 to 900 rupees liter. And if you now Many of you are from Gujarat area, so I will give you a business proposal. Gujaratis are good business people. Of course, the other country people are also good business people. Like, this milk collection is done in every place. These individual milk cow owners will bring their milk and then give it at one place, so that there will be a collection center and the milk will be provided to all the city. So similarly, somebody can start a business of collecting this distilled water and then distributing it to where it is needed. And I am sure in India we have huge potential, because as far as my calculations are concerned, something like 5 to 10 crores of ACs are there functioning in the coastal areas, and you can go up to collection of something like 50 crores to 100 crores of liter of water, beautiful quality, best quality of water, RO quality water, and you can make a business out of it. Of course, as I told you, being a scientist, I am really not bothered about that money part of it, but resource of that sort, something like 50 crore liters or 100 crore liters of water, pure good quality water being wasted. And many of these societies which are coming up in various parts of the country, especially these gated communities, I get pained. I talk to so many building contractors and the builders that you should, what they do is to avoid the defacing of the building, they connect that directly into the drainage system, so the water flows directly into the drainage system. That is, there is even no way of cutting it out and having a connection to collect the water. So again, it's a kind of paradox that in an educated country, and that's why I say that we are educated, but we are not really application oriented people in our country. I'm going to discuss some of these more examples. I will be happy, actually. I mean, I'm not criticizing. I'll be happy if these faults are removed, and that's the sincere reason why I'm telling you all these faults. Many times the self retrospection, you have to find out your faults so that the faults can be corrected, the system can correct the faults. And if we are making a mistake, it's not necessary that we should keep on making that mistake again and again, because then it is not, to err is human being. That's the one saying says, the low aim is something which is a crime. To err is human, but low aim is a crime. I will add one sentence in that to err is a human being, but to make the same error again is not really human being. Then it's foolishness. So let us not do a mistake which has been done over a period of time. So we must understand that the water source which we have in the form of AC should be used. Okay, the turbidity which is measured, it is measured in terms of NTU. You know what is NTU? It is nephelometric unit. Now, what is nephelometric? When you are talking of turbidity, you are measuring turbidity in a test tube. You are passing light into that cuvette, and that there are three things which are happening to that light. Part of that light will get absorbed by the solute particles which are present in that solution. Part of that light will get transmitted through the cuvette, and part of that light will get scattered by the particles. Now, why turbidity is measured in not by turbidimetry, but by the nephelometry. Nephelometry is a technique which is used to find out the uh, mm, proteins, or mostly the antibodies, or the in the blood. Nephelometry is the word which is used in with respect to blood, and that is where the scattered light is important. So, because immunoglobulins or the proteins, the small molecules which are present, they are to be detected. So, the nephelometry becomes a more sensitive technique than turbidometry, and that's why turbidity is measured in terms of nephelometry and is described as NTU. Those who are not very clear in understanding what I'm talking, they can send email to me, sharathkade@gmail.com. I'll try to clear your concepts if you are not understood. So the turbidity is measured, and this is the maximum turbidity for a drinking quality water should not be more than this 5 NTU. That is what is the prescribed limit is there. So, as I told you, why turbidimetry is more sensitive. Uh, and then total hardness. See, I think I'm sure you must have learned in your school days. I remember some of these questions in my school days that there are some waters where there will be very good froth. There will be when you put soap solution in that. At some places there will be how much of soap you put. There will be there won't be any froth. Now, what is the meaning of froth? What is the meaning of emulsion? So when a soap is put into water, there is a emulsion formation. And the emulsion, because there will a lot of air trapped in that, there will be a kind of froth coming. But this process will do what? This process will try to bring the dust particles which are there in the clothes or the whatever thing you are washing will come in. This froth will make it because froth is lighter. They will come up with that froth, and the cloth will be washed thoroughly. That's why you use soft water for washing. And similarly, the soft water is used for taking bath, is used for kitchen. Hard water, if it is there, what are the problems of the high TDS? What are the problems of it? The problems are with your body. If there are too much of salts in the water, your body will get directly affected. Similarly, if the hard water is there, the there will be corrosion of taps. In most of the cases where tube well is supplied through the pipelines, then there is a corrosion of those pipelines, and that is very fast. So that can be avoided, and that's where you should know the hardness as if in the form of calcium carbonate, and the permissible limit for that is around 200. The nitrates are supposed to be if there are more nitrates, they have their own carcinogenic effects. So not more than 45 milligram per liter as sodium nitrate. They should be nitrate should be present. So these, and then the bacteriological quality. Of course, you are all microbiologists. You know what is the bacteriological quality of water, and that has to be something like zero E. coli. There is zero tolerance as far as the fecal contamination is concerned, because we know that in India we have got plenty of these contagious waterborne diseases like typhoid, cholera, the dysentery, uh, then is giardia and protozoa oriented dysenteries. So all this is because they are present in water. They vehicle for their their transmission is water. So these waterborne diseases, and these are also responsible for giving the uh, multi-drug resistance (MDRS), which we call it, to the bacteria, so that the if these bacteria are present, we should be very careful about that, and that's why the testing is very important. And that's why my again repeat the request while ending my lecture today, that all the microbiology labs, biotechnology lab, whether it is there in your, the management also should take this into consideration, whether it is in their mandate. And I'm sure any social work will be in their mandate, because finally we take education for social purpose also, and make ourselves presentable to the society. So make ourselves useful to the society is also very important aspect of education. So if we are using the जो शिक्षण मंदिर I call it, in this mandir there are plenty of things to learn. So please follow the suggestions. Please remember this model again, and I expect that within 10 days at least, if 6 days, if somebody says that I have started making the model, I'll be happy person. Somebody says that, sir, yes, don't go by advertisement. They say oxy rich water. Now you are all students. You know how much oxygen is dissolved in water. A maximum permissible, dissolved oxygen level in any water is around 9 milligram per liter. how can the water be oxy-rich? If it is 9 milligram, it is normal water. If you put 12 milligram by pressure, the moment pressure is not there, it is going to come out. So if somebody is selling you oxy-rich water, don't get carried away. If you are using mineral water, stop using mineral water because it's more wastage than actual utilization. If you are using RO water, unless there is a source of water is salty, if your source is municipal water, stop using RO water and go back to your candle filters or to tell you the truth, my wife is also sitting here. We hardly used any filter for 40 years stay in Mumbai. There was no filter in our house. I'm a microbiologist and we never had any suffering from that. So let us be open-eyed. Let us be open about it. Let us understand the science and let us follow that. So thank you very much for listening to me. Let us have the uh, our date tomorrow. Thank you very much. Okay, Valentina. Hello.
Namaste, sir. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Thank you very much, sir, for very much enlightening session on water. And the poetry of water was very much sensitive. Like हमारे सबके दिल को अगर वो रियली छू गई होगी. कोई कोई लोग YouTube में पूछ रहे हैं कि आप हमारी प्रेजेंस कैसे नोट करते हैं. तो उन लोगों को मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि अगर आपको ये सब चीज़ें इम्प्लीमेंट करनी है, आप अगर सर को और हमको ईमेल करेंगे तो हमें पता ही चल जाएगा कि आपने दिलो दिमाग से इसको सुना है और इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की आप जेन्युइन कोशिश कर रहे हैं. तो यही है हमारी प्रेजेंस और यही है हमारा गुड लक कि हम सर के पास से इतना इंस्पिरेशन ले रहे हैं. तो फिर कल मिलते हैं. थैंक यू सो मच सर. नमस्ते सर.
Namaste.
Thank you everybody for your presence and listening it in a very curiosity manner. Thank you. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.